This is hold 'em or cut 'em at the wide receiver position. And the first guy is T.Y. Hilton of the Indianapolis Colts. Hilton, he's just been a fantasy dud the whole season, except he had one decent game this year. Phillip Rivers, the arm strength is not there. He's targeting more of the tight ends. Jonathan Taylor looks like their best offensive player right now in Indianapolis. So T.Y. Hilton, he just doesn't have it anymore. He was a great deep ball threat when Andrew Luck was there, but I'm cutting T.Y. Hilton. His best game this year is 13 fantasy points, and he didn't even get a touchdown in that game. It was T.Y. Hilton, and on the year, he only has 242 yards as Hilton, so he's a guy I'm going to look to drop. I said drop him last week, and I'm going to say it again, drop him. I don't know why he's still owned in 66% of leagues as Hilton, and if you can't drop him and you're trying to make a trade, just add him on as another guy to just throw in and get him off your roster. So drop Hilton. The next guy is Jarvis Landry of the Cleveland Browns. And Landry, he's been banged up and battered most of the year. He's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's got bad ribs and a hip, is Landry. But now with Odell Beckham there, I'm keeping Landry because there's not many options in that Browns offense right now. Austin Hooper's out as well, even though the young rookie Harrison Bryant emerged at tight end last week. But Landry's the number one there, him and Higgins. So Landry, he's still going to get his targets. But the only thing now, that middle of the field or underneath isn't going to be open with Beckham not there and attention going to Landry from a team's number one corner. But he's a number one receiver on a team. And Baker, he's looked actually decent most of the season. So for now, I'm going to keep Jarvis Landry. We'll see what he does this week versus Vegas as the number one receiver on his team. The next guy's Emmanuel Sanders, who's on the COVID-19 list. This week, we've heard nothing about him. So I'm guessing Sanders, he's going to be out again. And I'm going to hold on to him. Sanders, he looked good in the few games where Thomas was out. He had 3 double-digit fantasy games from week 3 to 5. So Sanders, he was getting to know the offense. He's good route runner still. Drew Brees, he likes those underneath and short routes. He's another guy. Like we said with Phillip Rivers, the arm strength is not there anymore like it once was, and that's the case with Brees. Now Michael Thomas, he's supposedly coming back this week. Sanders isn't. But when he does, that will open it up more for Emmanuel Sanders. And if you got an IR spot, that's great. You just put Sanders on it. So Emmanuel Sanders, he's a guy I'm going to keep. The next guy is a Miami Dolphin, and that's Preston Williams. Williams, we saw him have a few breakout games recently, but that was with Ryan Fitzpatrick under center, hitting the big man in the red zone and on the fly with a deep ball. But now Williams, he's droppable in my opinion for good, even though he's only been rostered in 20% of fantasy leagues. But I'm staying away from him. Tua, like I said in another video, they're going to build the offense around him. A lot of rollouts to running backs, a lot of design runs, I believe, with Tua. So I'm staying away from Preston Williams. I'm going to drop him, especially if you get something better on the wire. Right now, if you got a decent team, Williams anyways, your 5th or 6th receiver sitting there. So he's a guy I'm going to shy away from and get rid of is Preston Williams. The next guy is Darius Slayton of the New York Giants. We see the potential in this guy. And last season, he had a good season, was Darius Slayton. But this year, he's been up and down. And last week in a plus matchup, Slayton didn't get the job done. Golden Tate was the Giant receiver, and Sterling Shepard that had the good games. This week he's got Tampa Bay on Monday night. If that game happens in a pretty tough matchup, he'll get their number one corner in the various White. And Slayton, I'm not going to start him this week, but I'm not going to drop him either. He's still the number one on his team. The only way I'd drop Slayton if I'm in like an 8-team league. But that's about it. Slayton, he's still getting targets. He's getting looks. This week, I don't expect him to do much, but after that, the schedule lightens up a little for Slayton and the Giants. So I'm going to hold on to him. I'm not going to play him this week, that's for sure. But definitely don't drop him. So that's receivers that I'm going to either hold them or cut them going into week 8 of the fantasy football season.